Hey everyone, welcome back to Magic Time. I'm your host Thomas, coming to you live from Beckstoffer Tokalon Vineyard here in Napa Valley in Oakville. Tokalon, baby, this is one of the best vineyards in all of Napa Valley. I wanted to come out here and shoot. I just got off work and was driving down Highway 29, and of course I saw Tokalon and I was like, that would be a good place to film. Really great vineyard. At any rate, I wanted to do a video, and it's been requested through some of our viewers here at the Magic Time Wine channel. I wanted to do a video about how to get a job at a winery, and I guess in particular how to get a job at a winery here in Napa Valley, if that is your motivation and what you would like to seek out in life, to come here to Napa and live amongst the vines and apply yourself in the wine trade. First of all, there's a lot of wineries here. There's upwards of 700 bonded wineries in Napa County alone, and it's said there's upwards of about 300 to 400 tasting rooms here. Now that provides a lot of jobs, and it requires quite a workforce in order to staff Napa, especially during what we refer to as kind of like our season here. Now the season in which we're hiring most often here in Napa Valley for sales positions, wine educator and kind of tour positions here in Napa Valley, it usually starts around kind of the springtime and runs all the way through kind of the end of November, and then kind of November through the winter months when it starts to rain and get colder here, and there's a lot of holidays, people stay home, and there's less tourism here in the Napa Valley, and so the hiring practices in terms of wineries bringing on new people kind of pauses anywhere through late November all the way through about March. So if you're planning on applying for a job here in the Napa Valley, I suggest to apply when there's a lot of jobs and a lot of demand for the labor force here. Now, that being said, there's so many jobs here. There's a lot of demand for knowledgeable wine educators, but also for just in general people that have a lot of sales experience or customer service or hospitality. People that have worked in restaurants are always really welcome here to apply for jobs, and a lot of the wineries love people that have worked in restaurants that deal with a lot of people on a really frequent basis. Maybe people that work in the hotel or hospitality industry have a little background in that as well, or any type of sales position where you're selling a luxury good. That is looked upon very fondly here in Napa. Now, you don't have to have a huge list of credentials in order to get a job as a sales professional or a wine educator here in Napa Valley at one of these great wineries. What you do have to have is an outgoing personality, be really friendly, be very kind to people, and to be able to kind of verbalize yourself in a way that is entertaining and very warm and welcoming to people that come here to Napa Valley. You don't have to have a deep history and be certified with a lot of sommelier certificates or anything like that. But what I would say though is when you put forward your application at a winery, that in your cover letter you really emphasize your background and your strengths in terms of working with a lot of different clientele, especially luxury or higher end clientele. Try to emphasize your professionalism and how you would work to represent the winery with passion and enthusiasm. Talk about your overall enthusiasm about wine. If you love wine and have a deep passion for it, even if you haven't worked in this industry prior or don't have any serious experience with wine, wineries will hire you. Now, we need employment here. We need good professionals that are willing to be passionate and driven and show up to work on time and have a genuine love for wine, but also a love for this beautiful Napa Valley. So emphasize that definitely in your resume and in your cover letter. And also, if you have an interview, talk to them about how much you genuinely love and have a passion for wine. And then tie in your sales experience, your background, and try to wrap that around as a total package for when they would hire you. Now, other things you can do is you can seek out kind of seasonal opportunities here in Napa Valley. You know, they'll take you on as like a seasonal employee when they're in real demand. And then while you get hired as a seasonal position, really show your worth to the winery, they'll keep you on, I guarantee it. There's internship opportunities, not only in sales and hospitality, but also in the wine cellar. If you are a younger person with a lot of energy and strength and want to get involved in the winemaking process, or maybe even in the vineyards, they take on internships all the time. They do pay these internships, and some of them rather well, but they will take you on with little or no experience if you have enough passion and desire to be in this industry, in the production side of things, or even in the hospitality side of things as well. Another thing is, I would emphasize, when you're out of state or out of the region and you're applying for these jobs, I would emphasize your plan to where that you want to move to the area, because a lot of the times these wineries, they'll be a little skeptical if you don't live right in Napa or Sonoma County and you're coming from out of state or something like that. It's very difficult for them to go through the logistics of getting you here and making sure you start. So emphasize to the winery or wine company that you're going to work for that it'll be an easy process and an easy transition, that you will have the proper transportation and housing when you move here, and that it's going to be a seamless process for the winery, and they're not going to have to chase you down and do all the paperwork, and then you end up not even showing up and starting your job. Winejobs.com is the main I would say site to where most of the wineries here in Napa Valley, when they advertise their new positions coming up for the season, they will post on winejobs.com, which is a subsidiary of winebusiness.com, which is a great website if you ever want to know what's going on in wine country throughout the entire world. So search on winejobs.com. Indeed.com, you can search the term wine and then whatever district you want to look at, whether it's Napa Valley, Sonoma County, Mendocino, Lake County, or Paso Robles or Santa Barbara County here in California, or even wine jobs in Oregon or Washington State, New York, Texas, Arizona, places that have wineries. So these are a little bit of my tips for you guys. It's a great industry. It offers a good lifestyle. Most of the hours are your common banking hours, like your 9 to 5 time period. Most wineries close around 5 or 6 o'clock. So the lifestyle is really relaxed and the job is really relaxed. I would say also be prepared to work weekends. Wineries do the bulk of their business on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so plan on, if you're going to get a job at a winery, plan on working weekends. And that's just something that you have to kind of develop into your lifestyle. These are my tips for you guys about getting a wine job here in the Napa Valley. It does not hurt that before you try to move to Napa Valley or wine country to have a wine job at a winery, it doesn't hurt to have wine experience, restaurant experience, going through the process of pouring wine for people. Perhaps you can get a part-time job before you apply here in Napa. You can get a part-time job at a wine bar or a little retail wine shop, or even at a grocery store that has a wine department. My first job where I was ever associated with wine was a clerk at a gourmet grocery store, and I wasn't even hired on to be involved with wine at all. And it just so happened I gained an interest in wine, and I was able to move into that department and be a wine steward for several years, and that kind of launched my 17-year career in the wine business. And now I'm located here in Napa Valley. I work for a luxury winery, and I've been at 4 other wineries besides the one I'm currently working at now. So lots of jobs, lots of availability here in Napa Valley to come live here, work for wineries. They pay you pretty well. You can live a good lifestyle. If you have any questions for me in regards to this topic or how to successfully move to Napa Valley, please reach out to me. Leave a comment in the comments section. Please subscribe to the channel if you can to help support my videos. And there's plenty of other content in my videos about the pros and cons of living in wine country, things about moving to Napa Valley and the costs associated with that, and the cost of living in the area, and just the overall lifestyle of living in wine country. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Cheers.